Good morning. You're probably hearing all my bird friends. We have just tons and tons of birds right now in the backyard. We've got acorns that have fallen after the rain. So we're back to revisiting our pumpkin decomposition and seeing how that's going. This is week 3, so we're doing a check right now to see what's going on. The lid of my pumpkin is really puckered, really drying out. We've got some new kinds of molds growing here. We've got some fuzzy molds. I don't know the names of all the molds, but you can see definitely that this is decomposing. Now my pumpkin itself, I can barely move because it's decomposing so much that my fingers are going through it. It's really softening. I also have it on the ground, so there are bacteria, fungus, other decomposers that are probably visiting this pumpkin from outside. And of course we also had the worms. Now since I've done this last time, we had a really strong rain and I wasn't thinking about that and it went inside the pumpkin. So I'm not going to weigh the pumpkin today because the water is going to completely throw that off. We had lots of water collect in here. And also as a result, the worms have pretty much vacated. Just like worms would do after it rains outside, the water goes into their wormholes, it's too much water so they come up. The worms are going to escape to try not to drown because they are not water worms, they are terrestrial worms, they're land worms. Now I do want to mention the newspaper that's inside here is definitely breaking down. It's going to take a while for this to break down because there's so much carbon in it. And we don't have a lot of green material in here. So like I've told you before about composting, there needs to be a 2-to-1 ratio of carbon and nitrogen. So we need all kinds of nitrogen to break this down. Now inside, my compost itself is very wet. It's almost like mud right now because we had so much rain get in. So I really want to see what happens over time, especially with our new addition of all the water. I think that this is going to speed the process along quite a bit, especially if we have some drier days that make this a little less mucky and will allow more oxygen in. So we've got to have oxygen, we've got to have water, and we've got to have heat. And those things are really going to start breaking this down more than it is right now. But I'd say after 3 weeks, after the addition of our compost, our worms, and our newspaper, I'd say that this is a much more rapid decomposition than just a carved pumpkin without anything in it. So let's see what happens next week if it survives, and have fun with it. Hope yours are doing well too.